Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're setting our sights on Spain, specifically the wines of Castilla y León.
Yeah, it's a really significant region historically and, well, just in terms of the sheer quality and variety of wine coming out of there now.
We've got some great source material here, it feels like. Insights from someone really in the know, a sommelier perhaps, covering everything from, the ancient history right up to what's happening today.
Exactly. So the idea is to kind of distill all that down, give everyone listening the essential knowledge, the key takeaways about Castilla y León wines.
Right, so you can feel informed, appreciate the nuances, but without needing a textbook.
Precisely. Get you up to speed quickly.
Okay, let's dive in. The history. It goes way back, doesn't it? We're talking Romans, over 2,000 years ago.
It's quite something. That Roman foundation is key. And its location, sort of a crossroads, meant vines got established early. It wasn't just climate, it was that exchange.
Okay, so trade routes help spread the vines initially.
Yeah, and the know-how, presumably.
Then jumping ahead, the Middle Ages. The monasteries seem really important here, like guardians of the grapes.
That's a good way to put it. Orders like Cluny and Sister, they had the continuity, the land.
Yeah.
They weren't just preserving techniques, they were actively developing them.
And it wasn't just basic wine, right? Royalty appreciated them.
Oh yeah, that royal connection definitely helped cement their importance. Probably pushed quality standards up too, through consistent demand and practice.
Now, this is interesting, the Reconquista and the formation of the Kingdom of Castile. How did that massive historical shift impact the vineyards?
Well, you can imagine a more unified, stable kingdom. It creates a better environment for industries like wine production to really develop and organize, better trade, more consistent agriculture.
Makes sense, but it wasn't all smooth sailing. Phylloxera hit here too. That was devastating across Europe.
Oh, absolutely devastating. Like everywhere else, they had to basically replant everything,
Yeah.
grafting their traditional grapes, the ones they valued, onto resistant American rootstocks.
So that whole period of rebuilding, late 19th, early 20th century, it really shaped the vineyards we see now.
Fundamentally. And the choices they made then about which rootstocks worked best where, which clones, that influences the wine styles even today.
Which leads us nicely into the 20th century and the denominations of origin, the DOs, a big turning point.
A huge turning point. The DO system, the denomination, the origin, it provided that framework. Quality control, specific grapes allowed, aging rules.
Defining regional identity, basically.
Exactly. That plus modernizing the wineries, focusing on native grapes.
Yeah.
That's what really put Castilla y León on the map nationally and internationally.
Okay, so that sets the historical scene. Fast forward to now, what's the big picture for production today?
I think the key word is diversity. You've got such a range of terroirs, different soils, altitudes, that continental climate. It all shapes a really fascinating spectrum of wine styles.
Right, and the grapes reflect that diversity. Tempranillo is the star red, but it has aliases.
Yeah, that's important. It's Tempranillo, but in Ribera del Duero, you'll usually hear Tinto Fino. Suggests maybe a slightly finer expression there.
And Tinta del País in Toro.
Exactly. Tinto del País and Toro and other spots. It kind of emphasizes its local roots. But whatever the name, it's key for those classic, full-bodied, complex Spanish reds with those firm tannins.
What about the other reds? Garnacha, Mencia, Prieto Picudo. What roles do they play?
Well, Garnacha brings fruitiness, spice, especially in warmer spots. Mencia, think Bierzo, gives lighter, fresher reds, often with a real mineral edge. Prieto Picudo from Tierra de León offers great acidity, red and black fruit notes.
And some supporting actors, too.
Yeah, you've got Graciano, Mizuelo, Bobal, often used in blends, adding maybe color, acidity, or complexity.
And the whites, it's not all red wine territory.
And not at all. The white scene is really exciting. Verdejo from Rueda is, well, iconic. Super aromatic, fresh, herbaceous notes.
Okay.
Then there's El Bio Mayor, gaining traction, known for complexity and good acidity. And Godello, especially from Bierzo, making these really elegant mineral whites.
And others like Viura, Palomino.
Riviera, Palomino, Doña Blanca, they're around too, playing their part in the white wine landscape.
So pulling it all together, the main wine styles, what should we be looking for?
Okay, styles. Reds. You've got the whole range. Big, structured, age-worthy stuff from Ribera del Duero and Toro. I think Ribera's maybe more structured, like Bordeaux.
Yeah.
And Toro, more immediate power, like the Rhone.
Interesting comparison. And lighter reds.
Yeah, the lighter, more aromatic reds.
Yeah.
Especially Mencia from Bierzo. Plus, you're seeing more youthful, innovative red styles popping up all over.
And the whites?
Mostly fresh, aromatic, mineral-driven. Rueda Verdejo leads the charge, but Godello from Bierzo is definitely one to watch. And those complex Albuquerque wines are really interesting too.
Rosés and sparklings, are they a big part of the picture?
Cigales is famous for its traditional rosés,
Mhm.
quite intense color, really fruity. Other DOs make lighter styles too. And yeah, there's actually a growing scene for quality traditional method sparkling wines, often using Verdejo or El Bielmer. Surprisingly good stuff.
Okay, great overview. Now let's zoom in on those denominations of origin. The DOs. Can you give us a quick tour of the main ones?
Sure. So Ribera del Duero DO, top tier reds, Tinto Fino, big focus on oak aging. That's its calling card.
Right.
Rueda DO, predominantly white, fresh, aromatic Verdejo. That's the heartland.
Got it.
Toro DO, powerful, full-bodied reds from Tinta del País, known for intensity.
Okay.
Bierzo DO, elegant, fresh Mencia reds, and those classy mineral Godello whites. Different vibe.
And Cigales?
Cigales DO, traditionally known for those vibrant, fruity rosés, mainly from Tempranillo, though they make reds too.
And there are others beyond those big names.
Oh yeah, quite a few.
Oh.
Tierra de León with its unique Prieto Picudo grape, Alonso making reds and whites, Tierra de Vino de Zamora, more Tempranillo, Valtuendas Tempranillo again.
Wow. Lots of Tempranillo's focus outside Ribera and Toro, too.
Definitely. Then you have Sobreros up in the mountains, focusing on Garnacha and Albio Real. There's the broader Vino de la Tierra de Castilla y León label too, and Sierra de Salamanca, using the Rufete grape. They all add layers to the region's story.
Okay, history, grapes, regions. Check. Let's talk terroir. That extreme continental climate you mentioned, what does that really do to the wines?
It's fundamental. Think freezing winters, really hot, dry summers. But the key is the diurnal range, that big temperature swing from day to night.
Ah, hot days for ripeness, cool nights for acidity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how they get that concentration of flavor but keep the freshness. It's a hallmark of the region, that balance.
And the ground beneath the vines, the soil diversity sounds crucial too.
Absolutely critical. It's like a patchwork. Ribera del Duero's limestone and clay limestone soils, they often give elegance, structure, that subtle minerality.
Okay.
Toro's sandier clay soils tend towards more robust, powerful wines, more tannin. Rueda's stony, poor soils are great for concentrating Verdejo's aromatics. Bierzo's slate, key for Mencia's finesse and complexity. Even Cigales, with its alluvial and clay soils, shows potential beyond just rosados.
And altitude, that comes up a lot. Why is high altitude special here?
It's mainly about cooler temperatures. Higher up means slower ripening, more gradual, lets the grapes develop complex flavors while holding on to that vital acidity.
So better balance again?
Yes, and the increased UV light at altitude can actually help concentrate color and tannins in the skins. Plus, that day-night temperature swing is often even bigger, higher up, really boosting aroma and phenolic development.
It really sounds like each little area has its own magic formula. Let's dig into a few key subregions. Ribera del Duero, the jewel. Why so revered?
It's that combination, really. The quality of the Tinto Fino grape there, that extreme climate moderated by altitude, the limestone soils, it all comes together. Plus, you have many serious modern wineries pushing quality, and it's a big eno-tourism hub, too.
And Toro, known more for sheer power.
Pretty much. Summers are generally warmer than Ribera. Combine that with the sandy clay soils and their local Tempranillo strain, Tinta de Toro. You typically get higher alcohol, more robust tannins, really concentrated dark fruit flavors. Wines with muscle.
Rueda then, switching to white, what makes Verdejo shine there?
It's that continental climate again, but with a little nudge from the Atlantic, a bit more humidity. That, plus the stony, sandy soils, seems perfect for Verdejo. You get that vibrant acidity, those signature citrus and herbaceous notes, and that lovely long finish, sometimes with a characteristic bitter touch.
And Bierzo, it feels quite different with Mencia.
Totally different character. It's milder, more humid, more Atlantic influence. And those slate soils are everywhere. It leads to more elegant Mencia reds, softer tannins, bright red fruit, that distinct minerality. There's a real buzz about Bierzo quality and innovation right now. And their Godello whites are fantastic, too.
Can't forget Cigales and the Rosados. Still the benchmark for that style. Intensely fruity, vibrant Rosados, mostly Tempranillo. The sandy, stony soils there contribute to wines with soft tannins, good balance, lots of red fruit and spice notes.
The diversity is just incredible. Okay, let's circle back to those key grapes. Tempranillo, we know it's different in Ribera, Toro, Cigales. Can you give us a more detailed taste profile for each?
Sure. Ribera del Duero Tempranillo, your Tinto Fino. Expect deep ruby color, aromas of black and red fruit, often with spice, vanilla from oak, Palate-wise, firm tannins giving structure, full body, long finish. That terroir, climate, soil, altitude shapes its elegance and aging potential. And Toro's Tinta del País, how does that contrast?
Noticeably different. Often darker fruit, more blackberry, plum maybe. The tannins can feel bigger, more robust, fuller body, reflecting the warmer climate and those different soils. More power, more concentration.
And in Cigales, even when it's made as a red, not rosé.
Yeah, the red Tempranillo from Cigales often feels a bit more approachable, younger than Ribera or Toro. Maybe brighter red fruits, softer tannins, just a slightly different expression shaped by that specific terroir and maybe local winemaking choices.
Okay, let's switch to Mencia and Bierzo. What's the sensory snapshot there?
Birza Mencia. Think bright ruby color. Aromas are usually fresh red fruits, cherry, raspberry, often with floral notes, maybe a subtle herbal touch, and that key minerality from the slate. Palate-wise, it's generally lighter bodied than the Tempranillos we just discussed, elegant tannins, refreshing acidity. That Atlantic influence, the slate, the altitude variations, it all contributes to its finesse and freshness. It's really catching on internationally for that style.
And Verdejo in Rueda. What hits you when you taste it?
Classic Rueda Verdejo, pale yellow color, maybe straw. Aromas are really distinct herbaceous notes like fennel or common, sometimes a bit grassy, maybe a hint of anise. Plus tropical fruit, white fruit, underlying minerality, palate. Usually dry, zingy acidity, light to medium body, and often that characteristic slightly bitter, almond-like finish, which is quite pleasant.
And the terroir.
That continental climate and the stony, free-draining soils are key for concentrating those unique Verdejo aromas. And remember, there's style diversity now too, not just young and fresh, but also more complex versions aged on lees.
Ah, yes, sur lie aging. Explain that briefly.
Yeah, sur lie just means aging the wine on its lees, the spent yeast cells left after fermentation. It adds complexity, often a creamier texture, maybe some bready or nutty notes. Takes the wine beyond simple fruit, and some Verdejo even sees oak now too.
Good to know. It's not only about those three main grapes, though. What other varieties add character to the region?
Well, on the red side, Garnacha can be really expressive, especially from places like Sierra de Gredos. Think intense red fruit, spice, juicy feel. You find some Syrah, too, giving richer, darker fruit notes. And Cabernet Sauvignon pops up, adding structure, tannin, those blackcurrant notes, often in blends.
And other interesting whites.
Definitely keep an eye out for El Bilo Mayor. It's really aromatic, complex white fruits, floral hints, honey, minerality, good acidity, nice texture. Bierzo's Godello, as we said, offers elegance, minerality, citrus, stone fruit, and even Palomino, famous from Jerez, is used here for some dry, fresh whites, often herbaceous and citrusy.
So, growing these grapes in that challenging climate, what are the key things growers do in the vineyard?
Vineyard management has to be smart. You see traditional bush vines, the Viso system, which actually provides some natural shade, but also modern trellising, Espaldera, which allows for more precise canopy management and easier machine work if needed.
And managing the leaves, the canopy, must be crucial with the intense sun.
Oh, absolutely. Things like leaf thinning are done carefully. You want enough sun for ripeness, but not so much you get sunburn. Plus, good airflow through the canopy helps prevent disease. It's a balancing act.
Water must be a huge issue in those dry summers.
A major consideration. Traditional dry farming, sequeiro, still exists, especially for old vines with deep roots. But supplemental drip irrigation is common now, used very carefully, just giving the vines what they need at critical times, not flooding them.
And looking after the soil itself.
Yeah, focuses on building organic matter, maybe using cover crops between rows, minimizing tilling to protect soil structure and prevent erosion. Promoting biodiversity is increasingly important too. And as always, picking the right altitude for the vineyard site is key for that cooling effect and balance.
Okay, grapes grown well, harvested perfectly. Then what happens in the winery? Key techniques.
Harvest timing is number one, getting that perfect balance of sugar, acid, flavor. It can be manual, allowing selection, or mechanical for efficiency. Fermentation, often stainless steel with temperature control to keep things fresh, especially whites. But you also see traditional stone lagares, concrete tanks, even oak fermentation for added complexity.
And maceration for reds, how long the juice sits with skins.
That's carefully controlled. Longer maceration means more color, tannin, flavor extraction. Shorter means lighter styles. It depends on the grape and the desired wine style.
And aging, especially oak. That seems central to many Castilla y León reds. Tell us more about the oak choices.
Oak is huge, especially for Crianza, Reserva, Gran Reserva reds. Both French and American oak are common. French oak tends to give subtler spice, vanilla, maybe more structural tannin. American oak can be more pronounced coconut, dill, sweeter vanilla notes.
And the toast level matters too, right?
Big time. Light toast, medium heavy. It all affects the flavors imparted. Plus, the age of the barrel new oak gives more flavor than older barrels. And it's not just barrels. Some use large wooden vats or even clay amphorae now for different effects. For whites, besides cool fermentation, that Surly aging we mentioned is key for adding texture and complexity to grapes like Verdejo or Godello.
It really sounds like a region balancing act, respecting deep roots while embracing the new.
That's a perfect way to describe it. Massive respect for the history, for Tempranillo, Mencia, those old vines, the traditional ways, but also a real drive to innovate, investing in technology, researching better clones, understanding rootstocks, trying new cellar techniques.
And sustainability fits into that renewal side.
Increasingly so, yes. It's becoming crucial. More organic farming, better water management, soil health focus, renewable energy in wineries. It's about preserving the heritage, but also making sure it's viable and responsible for the future. Finding that harmony is key.
Okay, let's get to the tasting. What are the typical sensory profiles? Let's start with the reds. Ribera del Duero.
Deep ruby color, aromas. Black and red fruit, plum, cherry, blackberry layered with spice, vanilla, maybe some leather or tobacco with age, from the oak. Palate. Firm but integrated tannins, full body, good structure, long finish.
Toro.
Often even darker, more intense ruby.
Yeah.
Aromas lean towards ripe, dark fruit, wild berries, maybe chocolate, tobacco, more intense spice.
Yeah.
Palate. Definitely robust tannins, full-bodied, powerful, concentrated finish.
Bierzo Mencia.
Brighter ruby. Aromas are fresh red fruits, cherry, raspberry, often floral notes, maybe herbal hints, that distinct slaty minerality. Palate, lighter to medium body, soft, elegant tannins, vibrant acidity, graceful finish. Different beast entirely.
And other reds might be.
You'll find younger styles across the region, maybe more primary fruit forward, softer tannins, designed for enjoying sooner rather than later.
Okay, on to the whites. Reda Verdejo.
Pale yellow, maybe greenish hints, aromas, quite pronounced. Herbaceous notes like fennel, sometimes grassy or anise-like. Tropical fruit, white peach, citrus, that mineral edge.
Yeah.
Talent, dry, zesty acidity, light to medium body. Often that characteristic slightly bitter almond note on the finish.
Bierzo Godello.
Can be a bit more golden yellow. Aromas, white peach, apricot, apple, often floral like jasmine, maybe honey. Sweet spice, clear minerality. Palate, feels a bit richer, more texture, maybe unctuous is a good word. Balanced acidity, medium to full body, long finish, maybe almond or dried fruit notes emerge.
And the Cigales Rosados.
Bright, vibrant pink, aromas, really intense red fruit strawberry, raspberry often floral, maybe citrus notes too. Palate, dry, refreshing, good acidity, lovely fruity finish, very appealing.
And the sparklers.
Fine bubbles, persistent. Aromas can be complex from lees aging, think brioche, toast alongside fruit. Palate is usually crisp, refreshing, well-structured.
Okay, I'm officially thirsty. So if we open one of these, what food should we pair it with? Ribera del Duero or Toro Reds?
Those big reds love rich food. Roast lamb lacasso is classic. Suckling pig cochinillo, morcilla de Burgos, blood sausage, grilled steaks, game meats, aged sheep cheeses like manchego. The wine cuts through the richness.
What about the lighter Bierzo Mencia Reds?
More versatile? Great with local things like boltillo de bierzo, stuffed meat dish, empanadas, pork dishes like lacon con grelos. Also good with heartier soups, lighter game, even mushroom dishes or soft cheeses.
Reda Verdejo, the go-to white.
Think seafood, grilled fish trout, hake, cod, shellfish, salads, tapas like patatas bravas, pimientos de padrón, even a simple Spanish tortilla. Its acidity is key.
And the Cigales Rosés.
Super versatile picnic or patio wine. Great with lots of tapas, light meals, salads, grilled vegetables. Think Mediterranean paella, gazpacho. Also nice with fresh cheeses.
Any thoughts on international pairings for these key grapes?
Sure, Tempranillo works well with grilled meats, BBQ, even some hearty pasta or Mexican dishes. Verdejo's aromatics can handle some Asian flavors, maybe sushi or Thai. Mencia's elegant suits roasted chicken, pork tenderloin, earthy mushroom risotto.
Beyond the bottle, Castilla y León sounds like a great place for eno-tourism. What's on offer?
It's really well set up. You've got dedicated wine routes. Ribera del Duero, Rueda, Toro, Bierzo are the big ones, but Cigales, Arlanza, and others have them too. It's not just tastings. You explore landscapes, villages, history, culture, and amazing food.
Any standout wineries for visitors? You mentioned a few earlier.
Yeah, loads. Protos in Ribera has those amazing cellars. Vega Sicilia is legendary, but visits need planning. Hilera in Rueda is very visitor-focused. Teso La Mancha shows Toro's power. Prada a Taupe in Bierzo's unique. Emilio Moro, Harzuaga Navarro, Bill and Dried, Numantia, Piticum. So many great options. Best advice is research based on the style you like and definitely book ahead.
Good tip. Any other advice for planning a wine trip there?
Plan your route. Figure out transport car is flexible, tours are easy. Give yourself time not just for wineries, but for soaking up the local atmosphere, enjoying the food. And just be respectful, enjoy the experience.
And if we can't get to Spain right now,
Uh,
any way to tap into the wine culture from afar? Events.
Absolutely. Look out for harvest festivals, the Fiestas de la Vendimia, usually Septact, lots of local celebrations. Wine fairs happen regionally and internationally. Gastronomic events often feature pairings. Some wineries do virtual tours now, too. And check specialist wine shops or online retailers. They often host tastings or have knowledgeable staff.
Good point. Any tips for enjoying those events, virtual or otherwise?
Check dates. Book if needed. Be open to trying new things. Ask questions. If you're tasting, try to pair with appropriate snacks or food if suggested. It enhances the experience.
Okay, final thoughts. Looking ahead, what are the main challenges and opportunities for Castilla y León wines?
Climate change is a big one. Adapting vineyard practices, water use, soil health, maybe exploring different grape clones or varieties, that's crucial. Sustainability is key there. And it's a competitive world market. They need to keep differentiating themselves, highlighting their unique grapes and terroirs, balancing quality with value, and telling their story effectively.
So it comes back to that balance again, tradition versus renewal.
Exactly. Honoring the heritage Tempranillo in its forms, Mencia, Verdejo, old vines, traditional skills, but also embracing the renewal R&D, precision farming, sustainable practices, explaining the full potential of all their grapes, whites and rosés included, finding that sweet spot, that harmony between the two, focused on quality, authenticity, and sustainability. That seems to be the path forward.
What a journey. So to wrap up, Castilla y León offers this amazing blend of deep history, incredibly diverse terroirs, fantastic native grapes, strong regional identities through the DOs, and this dynamic interplay between tradition and cutting-edge innovation, all leading to some truly delicious and distinctive wines.
It may be a final thought for listeners. Next time you try a Tempranillo from Ribera and one from Toro, really think about the differences. Or compare a Bierzo Mencia to a Rueda Verdejo. Ask yourself, how does this specific place, this terroir, speak through the wine?
Excellent point. A great reason to keep exploring. We absolutely encourage everyone to seek out these wines, maybe plan that trip, or just dive deeper online into the DOs and producers that caught your ear today. Check those local wine shops or online resources.
Definitely worth the effort.
And that brings us to the end of this deep dive. Join us next time as we tackle another fascinating subject. Let us know if you have sources you'd like us to explore.